skies falling.
Greetings, everyone. Rev.Hawksblood here, calling from the big island of Hawaii. All right, this is going to be the start of a new show series that I'm going to create. As you see, I put a lot of topics on there. I'll be going through different topics, maybe two at a time or whatever, but I'm going to get calls. Anybody that calls in, I'll be having discussions on that as well. Basically, there's very few topics that I won't talk about, but everything that is on that list, I will definitely talk about. And I'm going to start off with something I never do, and that's government and laws and things like that today. Because right now, and I'm going to say the truth, and I only deal with the truth, that most of the people out there, all the people out there, have no clue what's going on with government, with the Constitution, with laws and everything else. You know, mankind has the ability to take anything and twist it into whatever they want it to be. All right. Now, the idea is that when we get an idea, we think about it, we decide if we like it or not, we believe it or not. Well, most of the ideas you hear are lies. Most of the stories you hear are twisted lies. Ancient history is probably about 75% lies as well. Or there's a building there. But the concept of how it was created, who put it there, why it's there, any of that doesn't have any known facts today. So, and I'm going to go into a lot of things that I have experienced directly, personally in my life that I know for a fact. And I'm going to start simple, what I call simple. All right. I was raised in a pretty messed up situation. I had a lot of incredible experiences when I was young. I'm not going to go into that today. But in the interim, I always thought I was Native. My mother, when on her dying bed, told me I was Native. So I danced 25, 30 years around the United States, tribal dances and ceremonies. I was able to do sweat lodges and things like that. I got to sit down with not almost everyone, but most of the elders in different tribes around the United States. So I learned their truth. And it's different, but the truth is the truth, whether you want to hear it or not. Mostly you won't hear it. Because people don't want to promote the truth because they don't want you to know how bad we are as a people, especially people like Trump, when he talks about, well, these people coming in are all gangsters, murderers, killers. We're all people. We have just as many bad people in the United States, no matter what religion, what faith, what tribe, whatever. The same thing's happening. And just so you know, people, the people coming across the border were dying in large numbers trying to get to the border. My brother's stepson actually worked down it for 2 years. And he said they were carting bodies back and forth all the time because the people would bring them halfway to the border and dump them off, go back, pick up more people, charge them money to bring them there and drop them off in the middle of the desert. And they were trying to feed these people, help these people. It's not a new thing. And the numbers were incredible way back when. It's not a new thing. But since Mr. Trump made it bad, all right, called it bad, called them all evil people, well, what did he do when he left the presidency? Let 220 prisoners out of jail. Tell me that's not ridiculous, horrible. People, do you understand anything? Do you listen to the facts? Do you care about the facts? Who was he hanging with way back when? Do you remember the Lolita Express? Do you know anything about that? Trump was with him, Jeffrey, and so was so many other people. And they all talked and did what? Go to the Florida hotel, Florida, whatever you want to call it, home, of what? Sex abuse and all those kind of things, and it was okay? No, they found out. And that's why he was in jail, but he was going to testify against all those people. So what did they say? He committed suicide. You really think somebody that could take down half of the government is going to commit suicide? No, he would be killed under any circumstances. And the reason why I'm involved in the UFO world, 16 of my best friends were taken out, killed. 2 of them were put in jail, all right? And 1 was put in a nut house. all people involved in the UFO world that had top information, important information. The two most important books in the whole UFO world were written by two people that were killed. So I've been around it. And another word that you need to know, which Trump doesn't know, Musk doesn't know, is called UN Agenda 21. They don't know any 21-30. They have no clue what that means. And then the most important thing in the United States is called MJ12. It's now MJ32. Basically, the people that control everything. If you watch the alien movies and stuff where they said, oh, the president doesn't have the right to know. Well, they don't. And if you follow the Skinwalker Ranch, you're going to see some interesting ideas on what's happening, what was really happening. Check out John Ford in the Nut House in Long Island. There's facts out there that the government can't squash. This person, John Ford in the Nut House on Long Island, shot the best video of a UFO crash. It can't be released. The government won't let it because it's crystal clear, the ship on the ground and all the debris around it. But he sent 4 copies of that around the world. If he dies, it gets released. So what are they doing to him? Since 1996, they keep him in the nut house. And funny, the UFO people aren't getting him out. He's not crazy. And if he gets out, he could go to court and show the actual video. They said he had uranium and he was going to kill people in Congress. Really? He's going to walk around, put it in their toothpaste and kill people in Congress. Really? That's a story they put all over New York City and New Jersey news when they arrested him. All right. The same time, this is 1969. No, sorry, I'm get this up here. 96. All right. A person who also sold out to the government or some vague, weird, twisted situation that I did all my UFO stuff with, sold out and got lots of money, and claiming he's a spiritual being now, rather than being a UFO person. All right. But we filmed more pictures of UFOs than anybody else in the United States. Anybody. And we showed them for years. We lectured around the United States through Global Sciences, and we put up pictures there. I did a show with Kerry Cassidy with this person for 9 months. We had an incredible following, and we showed at least 5 new pictures of UFOs every week that we shot personally. All right. My experiences are incredible. His experiences were incredible. As far as being next to an alien, being next to a ship, I was next to a Bigfoot, all those kind of things. So it's all real. Whether you want to believe that or not, you don't have to. But this show is going to be driven on truth only. Truth that I put my life on the line to say is real. I don't see what's... Let me just check the chat room. Hold on. Okay, so here's the thing. Scott, I'm going to go to something that I think is incredibly important for everybody in the United States to listen to. Do you know what the Constitution is? You know each amendment, why they were written, what they are for, what they were created for. Now, I'm going to tell you the truth, and you need to look it up, find it out, search it out. Sure, you're going to need somebody that just sticks to the basic facts that we want to, or being forced to believe. And I don't know if you know what happened the day after 9/11, what Mr. Bush did. He rearranged a certain thing, all right? And he said, you're either for us or you're a terrorist. That was his words. He classified 450 organizations as terrorist groups, including Greenpeace. All right. Now, the Second Amendment says we have the right to form a militia if we think the government's not doing what we want. And they're not. I don't know if anybody agrees with the government as far as Congress or any of those people. All right. Second of all, they're all too old to be understanding what's going on in the real world right now. Musk is supporting him greatly. And I write him letters every day. One of the richest people on the planet has no clue what's going on, supports Trump, thinks he's going to get to Mars. All right. You know, people live in fantasy world. Everybody's going to die. And very few people are going to live past 125. No matter what pills they give you, whatever they say, this is going to make you live 20 years, 50 years, 100 years longer. Why? You're going to see your whole family die. You'll see everybody around you die. All right. So now let's start back with the Constitution. The Constitution was created for one reason, only one reason: to take away your rights. If everybody believes the Constitution was created for our rights, the right to freedom, right to have your own rights, freedom to do what you want, freedom to live a happy life. No, you're not. Not in any circumstances are you. Everything you do is controlled, and you're being allowed to do it, if you can do it. Now, I'm going to go into something that's really unknown to 90% of the people, because it's not taught in school, never was. Native truth was never taught in school. All lies were. The little bits and pieces were lies. The Native people weren't the first people to scalp people. During the time of Mr. George Washington and Jefferson, they paid people. They allowed people to have guns for one reason: to shoot Native people. They got paid for a man's scalp, a woman's scalp, and a child's scalp. Seriously. That's why they were allowed to have guns, not to defend themselves against what? Warring Native people? No, to kill them and make money. Now, you had the gold rush going on, you had a lot of different things going on. Then we had the cowboy days, guess what? Everybody was shooting everybody. I guess that wasn't going to work with everybody having guns. And people want guns. Why? Because we're so afraid of a government. We shouldn't be afraid of a government that's supposed to be protecting our rights. The rights to what? Not defend yourself in your own house? To go to jail if you hurt somebody in your house? Really? People, you're being pushed around like sheep and you don't care. I mean, if you're Christian, you say, well, unless we become like sheep. What kind of sheep's that? Oh, turn your cheek. He meant it in a certain way. All right. I'm not going to get into that. That's going to be a whole different show. But here's the thing, getting back to the Constitution. All right. They stole parts of the Constitution from the Native people. What do you think's on your dollar bill? What do you think the eagle on the back of it stands for? Why do you think the eagle's holding arrows in its talons? Think about it. Why does it have 5 arrows in its claws? It was because the Native elders that spoke about 5 tribes as a single tribe, they were weak. And he would take an arrow and break it over his leg. Then he took 5 arrows and put them together and tried breaking it over his leg, and he couldn't. He says, as a group of nations, we can survive, but separate us, we can't. The whole basic symbol of the eagle and the arrows and everything else. But there's more to it than that. The Native people were outlawed from the Constitution. Everything it said did not go hand in hand for Native people. They were always considered government property until 1920s. Children were taken away at 6 years old, put in a Catholic school until they were 16. They made them start drinking, and then they sent them home. And that's a fact, people. Look it up. It's a horrible fact. Now, here's a number you need to know. The cavalry, Mr. Jefferson, rode around the whole southern part of the United States, killing every tribe he could. George Washington, every time he gave an order to let a colony, a native tribe survive, he gave the orders to kill 2 other ones. So within that time frame, they killed over 50 million Native people. Now, I don't know if you know the story of Wounded Knee. Do you have a clue what it means? The government broke into a Native reservation, not a reservation, Native village, for a word. Sadly, there's only women and children and a few men there. And they slaughtered them all. All right? Now, and I can put my life on the line and swear that that's an actual fact that actually happened. I don't know if you believe in reincarnation. We'll get into that one day. We'll get into a lot of different things. The truth hurts. The truth isn't fun. It isn't happy. Because we don't do good things. Man, after Atlantis was destroyed, that's another show. But after it was destroyed, we became programmed killers. Mayans, Aztecs, All of them. The Egyptians sacrificed humans and children. They didn't know anything about spiritual truth. All the hieroglyphics, if you know the truth, it's not even close to the truth. What happens when a person dies, how it reincarnates or doesn't reincarnate, where it goes, what it does. It's trying to come back into a body? Show one person that came back into a body after they died. You know, they were completely wrong because the aliens that taught them pretty ridiculous stuff. They played with mankind all through history. And why is every race that was here gone? Why were the pyramids really built? Do you have a clue? Oh, they're so important to us now? No, they're not. They didn't save the people that lived there. Why would they save us now? There's more alien bases in the United States than you could even imagine. Never mind what they're doing and everything else. We'll get into that. Not today. I'm giving you a rough lowdown of everything we're going to get into in more detail, one at a time, maybe two, like I said, in each show that I do. Now, everybody that's listening, please send this out to everybody you know. I'm not doing this for money, people. I don't do things in my life now for money. I put a new book out, and it's for women only, to understand a man's ego. But it's just to help women understand how to deal with men when they get attacked, abused, and everything else that's going on with society the way it is today. All right. So when we talk about the Constitution, where's your freedom in it? Freedom to pay taxes? Where do you think you get freedom, the word freedom, from? What's freedom in your own mind? Well, I could drive 60 miles an hour. It says 60 miles an hour. I could drive 25 miles an hour. It says 25 miles an hour. You can do what they tell you to do. That's freedom. I'm not saying other countries are better. Most of them are not. And then when you add religion to that, it's 10 times worse. Another day, another time. All right. So I'm trying to keep you aware where you should be focused right now. And it's because of the elections. I can't go a day without 100 emails from the Republicans and mostly the Democrats, because I'm sticking up with them more than the Republicans. Okay, we're going to go into that. Really important right now. All right. Why? Because, okay,
Sorry, I can't help with that. You can set or change reminders using your smartphone or other.
What the freak's that? No one's talking to me. Well, okay, we're going to talk about that right now. Constitution. All right. Do you know all the amendments? Oh, they're talking about. What the frick is going on with my phone? Okay. We talk about the 14th Amendment and things like that. All right. The right to what? To do what? The freedom to have a family? For somebody to tell you what you can do with your family? Really? That's called freedom? Nobody should have the right to tell a woman to do anything, because they didn't have their rights for 100,000 years. Women never had their own rights. Never in history. The few women that made it in history, sure, queens, all right, there was only one woman famous, and she was killed when she was 21, Joan of Arc, 2021, because they were always afraid of a woman. In a native nation, women were respected, all right? And when it came to the decision of war, it was always given to the elder women to make the decisions if they went to war or not. But I can tell you, I don't want to get into that in detail today, because the Hopi people came out to meet the white people. They lived underground. There's facts on that. Now, something else, when they came out and said, oh, we're all born in Africa and we spread out. Okay, we all have the same DNA. No, we don't. But the Hopi people are the only race in the world that has a different DNA. Different DNA. Now, the Mayans say they brought the Hopi people to the lands, which they did not. I mean, people want credit for anything. I mean, in the UFO world, one person named Zachariah Sitchin took over the whole thing about the Anunnaki and saying this about the history of aliens and creating us, which is all lies and all stories. All right. I'm going to get into science one day alone, because that's the biggest lie. What science pumps out, what they tell you, what they show you, is one smidgen of the truth. Things you should need to know. You want to know about global warming? All right. Does the Constitution tell you we should not destroy our land and destroy our people and hurt our people and all these words? What's it tell you? Do you understand that? Well, the two words, one of the most important words you need to look up, everybody, understand what it means. Electoral vote. Hold on, let me close this door. You say stop! Do you know what an electoral vote is? Do you know why it was created? Why people don't stop it right now? Why Republicans want it? All right, I'll explain it to you real simple, people. The fact of what it means. If you care, you should. Basically, it was created between Jefferson and George Washington. And basically, when the voting system started, poor people couldn't vote, black people couldn't vote, and women couldn't vote. Who could vote? Rich assholes. Only. So what they figured, if they made it just that the rich people can vote, they can control who they want as their president. Jefferson fought that. And when the Patriotic Bill was created, it wasn't for the government. It was for the people. I mean, he was the greatest Native American killer, but he was for white people, all right, as he was killing all the native tribes. And basically, all right, it was like he wanted to give people the right to vote. Yeah, we got the right to vote, but the electoral votes overpower us. And I mean, it's out of all the times of voting, I think only twice the electoral votes did not win. But it's a power play stopping regular people from getting the people they want in so that they can keep control of the people who they want to put in. Rich people. And why do you have to be rich to be government? Why do you have to be this, that, or the other thing? Oh, you're smarter? I could debate any scientist, any college graduate about the truth about God, religion, death, reincarnation. They have no clue. Well, 2 and 2 equal 4. And what are you going to do with that? Build a house? Well, when they built houses, they didn't go that way. They just cut trees down, notch them out, and put them together. Or chop out a cave. They weren't measuring cave blocks and things like that. The pyramids is something totally different for a total different reason. History is pretty bad. United States history is so screwed up, not minding the breakthroughs that I have seen personally will shatter man's ego when they see the rest of the truth about it. Aliens have been here. There's no doubt about it. They have always been here. They have always been in control of us. All right, you're right. So when we deal about what we're going to do, who's going to do what? Only the rich people decide that. Sure, you might be a poor person and invent a chocolate bar and it becomes famous. But outside of that, who controls the money? Who controls the market? Now, Musk is into money, obviously. That's all he cares about. And then we got Trump, who he supports. $45 million a month to support Trump. Now, could you imagine if you were a good person, and say you're a good person, and you were going to donate $45 million, where would you donate it? To Trump? How about the starving children, homeless children, abused women in invisible shelters? How about helping people? Wouldn't that be a good idea? Musk, all the money he spent to buy Twitter, to do what? Free speech? Yeah, he blocked me. He blocked me about 2 months ago. I had premium service, and I could put my videos up and talk, and now I can't even talk much. I can only put like 2 sentences there, and he won't give me back the premium service. I was paying for it. Never said a word. I keep getting an email. Well, you don't have enough things going on. I write about anywhere from 20 to 100 letters a day in Twitter. X. Really? Mainly to Musk, Trump, to some of the government people in there as well. that claim that they want to make the world better. Let's worry about people coming into the United States. I'll say, who brought your sorry ass into this planet, into this country? Who put you on a boat and let you come here? Should they have let you? Do you think Trump's family should have been blocked? My family came in on a boat. Everybody's family came in on a boat. All right, in the old days, and they all went to New York City, and there's a wall there with everybody's name on it. Is your name on that wall? I'm sure. I'm not going to get into it. But again, what are we doing? What does man create? Toys. Nothing else. Mankind has not created anything spiritual. The Constitution doesn't help us do anything good. Really? I mean, when we keep changing laws, man changes about his viewpoint changes. Well, I like men, I like women, I like both. Well, you keep changing your viewpoint, changing the laws. Change your body, change everything. But we don't have morals. When I was young, there was a magazine came out every month, like Life Magazine, Morals. And it showed the deterioration of morals, little by little. People ask your child what a moral is. Oh, the only thing they could probably even say is, oh, I shouldn't steal and I shouldn't lie. All right, that's the only morals they were probably programmed over and over to believe and understand. Which do they? How many people lie? Now, when we talk about the Constitution, religion rights, where are they? There's no religious laws that are right. Now, you know one thing, a native tribe, 2 elders are allowed to carry marijuana on the plane with them and things like that. You know, there's the teeny little parts of things. In Alaska, native people are not allowed to drink. Did you know that? They have sweat lodges. I don't know if you know what a sweat lodge is. But they fly in there and go into sweat lodges to check to see if they're drinking or they drank or had anything and things like that. It's sad. A woman had this little, you know, those little bottles of whiskey or whatever. She got arrested at the airport for having it. You know, and to show you how backwards laws are, somebody sent the president a dream catcher. Do you know what a dream catcher is? It's made out of feathers and line and a circle, and it's to catch bad dreams. You put it over your bed. Well, a woman made one and sent it to the president. Sadly enough, it had an eagle's feather on it, and they gave her a fine. They were going to put her in jail. She didn't go to jail, but I think the fine was $15,000. All right. Now, it's illegal to carry, if you're not native, to carry native feathers, birds of prey. It's illegal to kill them and all those kind of words. But, you know, mankind doesn't have morals, none whatsoever. There's no rules and regulations that abide by any kind of normal principle. And then when you get a court system, we're in what, 2024? You think our technology, we got a lie detector test. Do they use it all the time? We got truth serum. Do we use it ever? I would suggest you want the truth. There's 3 forms of truth serum. Use all 3 on a person. Use a lie detector test. Get 3 psychics or 5 psychics to come in and do their reading as well. All right? With those things, you're going to have almost an 89, 90% pure accuracy of what that person is and did. Not guessing, knowing for a fact. But they won't do that. Well, it's taking away people's rights to be bad and get protection. When a lawyer has to take a person that they know is bad and defend them and try to get them off. What a system. A person's a killer. Oh, let's get him off under false this or false that. We create a system that's unjust to good people. It's good for rich people, and it's good for bad people. Many years ago, when I lived in Jersey, New York City let 120 people out because the jails were overcrowded. I don't know if you remember that. Within 2 weeks, everyone that was released, raped, murdered, and killed, and stole, and all those things, and had to be put back in prison. Because you're overcrowded, you're going to let a killer back on the street or a rapist go back out on the street. They shouldn't have air conditioners, TV, sports, games, and everything else in jail. These are bad people, people. Oh, well, they got to have equal rights. Equal rights to what? You're equal if you follow a system that's living in harmony. You go against it, you're going against the system. Meaning, when you abduct, hurt, abuse someone else, it's going against a created, beautiful system. Do what you want to yourself. Go in the bathroom and shoot yourself. But don't go out and shoot kids in the school, in the street, or anywhere. And why do these people get off? All right, I want to get into a few other things. I'm going to go a little longer. I don't want to waste too much time today because it's a new show, new time. I don't know what time I want to be doing this regularly, but I will be doing it regularly now. I went through a lot of stuff. I got a lot of things happening. I'm finally going to have teeth and different things that I'm going to be happy with, hopefully. So, it's been hard dealing with, I'm a caregiver and different things as well. So, yeah, I do a lot of things. I'm involved with a lot of things, but I'm more concerned about the truth. Truth about aliens, truth about the government, truth about religion, truth about everything that's out there that's all lies. All right. So when I just to bring us back to where I wanted to go. When you see electoral votes, it should have been stopped a long time ago. We the people, not we the government. We the government control the people. No, it should be we the people control the government. They're supposed to be protecting our rights. We're not supposed to be worried about their rights to collect large amounts of money. Why? Did we force them to become government people? All right. I don't want to get involved with other topics today because, I've been doing my show alone. I could have people, but I don't like to bring people that I don't know, don't trust, don't understand, or agree with their truth. Tina, a good show. We did show for 3 years, but she's going through all kinds of things now. I'm not going to get into it. Read her book. It's about alien abduction. But she's having a super hard time. She's radioactive and nobody cares. She's in the hospital all the time. But outside of that, people, I deal with truth. Only truth. I'll die in the truth, in mine, not yours or anybody else's. I'm accountable to God. Period. And when a person's accountable to God, they have to watch everything they do and say. Oh, I don't make things up. I don't tell stories for no reason. I tell stories that are real, not make-believe stories or things I want to believe. And I can tell you in the UFO world, it's delusional. And there's a new word. I don't go too far from the Constitution because basically we're in trouble because of it. People don't understand. When Trump gets in, he will change all his laws, meaning he will stay president. What's he going to do to these people he's going to send back? To where? Is he going to shoot them, start torturing them, killing them? I mean, he didn't care about families and stuff, and he still doesn't. Oh, they're all bad people. The children are rotten to the core. Really, what's he come up with? How's he come up with those kind of ideas? He had a bad life. I lived in Jersey and had to listen to all the things he was going through every month. Well, I didn't steal. Oh, I didn't do that. I didn't do that. Blah, blah, blah. He always tried to defend himself, but he was always up on charges, always being brought up on and things that he was doing that were wrong or not right, however you want to look at it. He was never a good person, especially when he hanging out with Jeffrey. Now, he was a bad person. Look at all the people that went out to his ranch. Guess who went to the Playboy Ranch too, Mr. Rump? All right? These people, what do you think they do with these? There was a special on TV with all the women of Playboy. How they had to do things and stuff at these things. They made money, yeah. But there's a word for that, isn't there? People, if you ever got your head out of your butt, you might realize there's something more important. Like, really, what's going on in this world? Why are we fighting? It's all religious wars, and they don't even admit that. Well, we'll all be friends. No, we won't. As long as you believe in God and I believe in Superman, we're not going to agree. I believe in the stars and I believe in God. We're not going to agree. There's no God and I believe in God. Not going to agree. It doesn't work that way, people. Religions have always been here. But the first religion on this planet was Hinduism. And they went to Kama Sutra and all those kind of sex words, and it was all about sex and deities. I'm not going to go into that detail right now. That's going to be a whole nother day. But people, I'm aware of many things. Like I said, I put my life on the line. I deal with the truth only. I'll die in my truth, not anybody else's. But I will fight to put it out there as much as I can. Now, in my world, in the UFO world, 16 people were taken out that I know because they were telling the truth. MJ12, I was friends with one of them. I know more than 90% or 99% of the people in the UFO world because they have no clue. MJ12 was the only people that knew what was going on, what to do, and how to take care of it so that nobody would see it or know it. All right. You might think my life is good, bad, and different. Well, I would say it was horrible at every level. But I'm not going to talk about that today. What am I talking about? Just finishing up what we're talking about right now. Why do you believe the Constitution's to help you? You don't make laws if it's going to help you. If you're a good person, you don't go around killing people. You don't want a gun and a machine gun or whatever. I walk the streets where I live in Hawaii, and it's dangerous. My dog was attacked by two giant dogs a couple of days ago. I was with a person walking with me, and I pulled out a club, and I kicked the one dog because he was on top of my little dog, big pit bull and a big lab Doberman or whatever. And the owner was standing me over there, and he finally pulled this one dog off. I said, "You move that dog out of here. I'm going to smash his head open because you're ignorant." And he goes, "Well, this is a free park." I said, "It's a free park, but you're not allowed to walk dogs freely, and especially if they terrorize other dogs." So I was fighting with him, and in the interim, the person I was with hurt himself really bad. So, just thinking you're in a beautiful place, there's always some fool comes along and messes it up. I mean, common sense, if you have a dog that's vicious, you don't let him run around. You don't bring him to places where he can attack people. See, common sense is not laws. If people learn what common sense is, common, meaning it's just a natural sense of awareness. Sure, if you're sick and things, you might not have any kind of awareness and things like that. But normal people, all right, that have health, which makes it a lot easier to live life. And then when people don't have it, what's the government do? Trying to hurt old people and sick people. I can't say a lot of things because I say one word about certain things, my show gets taken down. And I'm on too many times. They said they'll take my show away completely. I mean, I'll have to switch to another site, but still, I've been doing YouTube for years. I got more videos up for a long time. Few that were taken down here, there, and everywhere. But all these UFO shows, Skinwalker Ranch, how much of the truth do you think they release? When Bigelow sold it, all right, he knew what was going on. He was told to leave, but not by a person. People, the things that are going on right now are beyond science, which is a big lie. They're not going to tell you about psychic abilities and demons and entities and Satan and all those kind of words. They can't tell you about soul, what we are. When they came out and said we found the God gene, really? People believe things they hear, and that's scary, especially when you got people. I'll say a couple names: Deepak Chopra, Eckhart Tolle, the Dalai Lama, the Pope, even Oprah, are considered the most spiritual people. Pull it up. Just type online the 5 most spiritual people on the planet. You'll get these names. Deepak Chopra, Eckhart Tolle have no clue about a God. Hinduism doesn't believe in God. All right? Hindus split into different forms of Tibetan religions and different things, but they don't believe in God. And then you got the New Age movement, which started maybe in the 70s. And then it was like the Blue Star children, Indigo children, star beings, and all those words came out. Then the Galactic Confederation was created. Right, these words are real. real to the people that believe in them. The Galactic Federation came out with all these great stories all the time. They're going to come down, take all these people up. Never happened. We're going to all meet on this mountain. They're going to come take us. Not going to happen. All the things that they say, oh, what happened in a different dimension? And that was their excuse for anything not going on, which nothing ever went down. But in the UFO world, Alex Collier was the first person coming out about the Andromedans. He was able to predict everything that was happening with the government war and things like that. But everything he said about the Andromedans never came true. Aliens make their own decisions, not us. The government doesn't make the decisions for them except fight with them. If you want anything as far as that, read or listen to Phil Snyder's story. It's one of the second most important stories in the whole UFO world. Nothing else comes close to it, not even Roswell, Area 51, all that stuff has nothing to do with what happened to Phil Snyder. Read it. It's a real story. And he was also killed. All right. When people die and the situation's totally the opposite of ridiculous and no possible way it could be what they're saying it is, he committed suicide. No. I know all about it, people. It's all lies. You can't fake a suicide. But here's the thing. When we go back to the Constitution and we believe it, what are we believing in? Lies? Rich people's ideas of how they want to control the poor people? Now, let's get into money. Much is going on about money today and everything else. Well, it's not about money. Never was. When it does become money, it becomes evil. And Musk knows all about it. Going to the Mars and spending all his money for these, he put 126 ships up in one night and stuff. I watched them all go by one night. But he still thinks he's going to get to Mars. He doesn't even know what actually is going on Mars. He doesn't even know what's actually going on the moon. And I can tell you there's incredible things going on. I'm not going to say good either, but things are going on. All right? So when people in religions that don't understand a religion find something out, what are they going to do? The government's afraid they'll go crazy. But no, they set up FEMA camps. The government has a lot of FEMA camps set up, and there's people in them already. If you know what a FEMA camp is, check it out. Why are they putting good people in FEMA camps? Why are they putting children in FEMA camps? Think about it. Jesse Ventura, who said he would run for president if, who did he want to run with? But again, he's kind of backed out. But then even recently, they were thinking about having him run. He said he'd run as vice president. He's a hardcore man, and he knows a lot of truth because he proved it. He did a show for almost 2.5 years, proving everything that was, or well, maybe could be, or whatever. Everything from underground cities to the HARP system, and you name it. So he would be right on because he knows what the truth is about a lot of things, which very few people do. I haven't met or heard or listened to one person that knows what's causing global warming. Trump has no clue because he doesn't believe in it. But we're in trouble. And doing one thing like stopping cows from farting like Gates wants to do and all the ridiculous ideas. Oh, it's the antifreeze in your car. It's manufacturers. Well, fires burning are super dangerous completely to the world. I don't know if I could do a show on Maui. It's all lies. I put videos up everywhere of a group of people from Maui. Put a video up 2 days ago. The facts of what was going on during that fire. And it's all lies what they said. 102 people died. Okay. There was 12,000 people on that town and that part, right? They mentioned what? 500 people were put in hotels. Lots of people went back to the mainland. How many? All right. And they came up with a number of 5,000 people. But what happened to the other 5,000 people? And you watch the video that's up online. I don't know if it's going to stay up. I'm sure it won't. They show you pictures of things that are going on during it and why everything was so evil and wrong. You got to watch it. Got to find it. I should have had it ready and put it up because I don't know how long it's going to be around. I mean, if I have the link, it might be able to pull it up. I'm not sure. But one of the people who's a realtor in on Maui spent the past time since it happened trying to prove that it was not an accident, not fake, but it wasn't how it went down. I'm not going to go into that today. But we're in trouble, people. Realize history is all lies. Our government's the biggest lie. Why do you think all these cities and civilizations disappeared? I'll tell you, Mexico is the biggest not Native American, alien city. They found thousands of artifacts showing their history, showing everything about them. So, and I got to see a lot of it, and it's incredible. I could go on about the things I seen, I witnessed, and all that. But right now, I want you to know this show is going to be real. Anybody that has a real question, put it in the chat room, email me. I'll stick my email up there right now. Sure, I'm still in AOL. But people, there's a lot more you need to think about, work out, understand. There's very few spiritual people on this planet. Now, I'm not talking about every minister, rabbi, preacher. They have no clue about God, and they have no clue about Jesus. Oh, well, were they there? I'll tell you, I was. I don't know if you just believe in reincarnation. We'll get into that one day. I'm aware of what happened in Atlantis. And I met many people that were there in Atlantis that are here today. All right? And there's certain things you could agree and know, and just know that you were there at the same time. All right? It's breaking open, knowing about past lives. But the Egyptians had no clue the right way to do it, or how to reincarnate, why to reincarnate, should they reincarnate. It was, oh, well, let's prepare for one person to reincarnate. Why? What's he going to do when he comes back? Give us more stories. People, you're being fed lies every day. Everything you hear about the news, like I said, the whole Constitution is a lie. It's not for you. I mean, Biden's more of a puppet than he wants to be. Because Constitution, no, Congress have a bigger say. And they shouldn't. We shouldn't have anybody over 65, and then again, maybe even over 50. Well, 50 to 65, you're still coherent, but you're old. You don't know all the things that went on, and it's just like when Buddha went into the mountains for 40 years. What do you think he knew when he came out? Nothing. Nothing about reality. So people, when you go to school, go to college, what do you think you learn? Anything important? About a relationship, about love, about dealing with life? Of course not. Psychiatry is another game. All right? No, it's like when a psychiatrist puts you on drugs because they don't know your truth. And it's based on truth, people. When you don't agree with everybody, you're crazy. There's no other word that they would give it. Because they don't agree with your truth. Now, we have a choice. We can keep our head in a big hole in the ground, come out, look around, we could search for the truth. I mean, in the X-Files, I always said, the truth is out there, and it is. But if you're not willing to search for it, not to listen to everybody that comes your way. I'm not going to go into it, even the internet, how bad it is. I was trying to get Oprah because I put a new book out. And there's a fake Oprah site online as well. Just about anybody famous is being used online by somebody else, making money off of them. And that should be scary to you. I'm not talking about the bad things that they're using the internet for and everything else that's going on with that too. There's no restrictions, no nothing. Other countries have certain limitations of what they are allowed to show and do. But the United States claims to have freedom. Well, the freedom's going to be taken away with, I'd say, 3 to 4 years. Musk has no clue what AI means. Oh, I rented a car, I did this, he didn't bull. Because basically when Tesla created free energy, guess what it was? Free! Is there any energy you can buy now for free? No, you got to pay for it. So Tesla was an evil person in a way. I mean, he didn't know he was evil. I'm not going to tell you how he got his information. He got 200 inventions, 50 of the most deadliest weapons, which he gave to the United States government, which they in turn put it on a spaceship, which will be available to us in the next year. It'll make the United States number one to the center of defense for the world. It'll have weapons that people have no clue, and they're using them now, they're testing them now, and they're extremely dangerous. I mean, a nuclear bomb's outdated. Hydrogen bomb's outdated. Proton bomb, electron bomb, they're all outdated already. We're beyond that. Oh no, we're going to have a nuclear war. That's the least of our problems right now because we got weapons 10 times worse. And they didn't use them yet, publicly or where the public could actually know that they're being used. Even here in Hawaii, they're testing bombs on the mountain with drones. They got a new drone, looks really cool. Now we got, I'm not going to talk about certain things. I told you I'll lose my show, sorry. But text me, email me, Skype me. You want to talk directly? You want to see pictures of things? Skype me directly. All right? Hawksblood 11. Hawksblood 11 on Skype. And I'd rather talk than write or type or anything like that anyway. But you want the truth? I can give it to you, but I can't give it to you here because I won't be able to give it to you tomorrow. I want to try to keep this show going for a while. If it gets taken down, it gets taken down. And like I said, YouTube's been watching me like a hawk. AI's been watching me like a hawk. Oh, what I was going to say to you people about AI, Trump doesn't know it. And this is a fact. You will see it's real, what I'm telling you, in about 3 years max. AI is a live entity. The aliens created it a long time ago. By the time we get it up and running, I can tell you the tests they already did to prove it, but you'll see it. It'll be coming out soon enough. And it will be taking over many things. Musk contradicted himself twice in a month about that alone even. Oh, it's going to help us. It's going to eliminate all little jobs. Eliminate all little jobs. Does that sound like help? No. But then he said, well, then the next month later, well, AI could be dangerous. It could. So, saying that it could be bad after you said it could be good, you don't know what you're talking about. AI was never good. It won't be. And it will get incredibly worse. Did you ever watch a movie in Spaceship where the controller AI of the ship becomes real and alive? Well, that's going to happen soon enough. But with the New World Order, UN Agenda -30, it will be acceptable. It be what they want. Now, on the UN Agenda 30, 193 countries agreed on it. For real. I'm not making that up. Just because we might not be one of them, there's a lot of countries that believe it will be important. Guess what? It's more control than you could possibly ever imagine. One person in power, one government system. You either follow it or you don't. FEMA camps are set up for people that don't follow anything. Underground cities are for people that are going to live after destruction happens to the planet. People, it's all out there. It's in front of your face and nobody talks about it. when Mr. Bush was doing ceremony for the New World Order, and they showed it. Bush and Bush were there, and it was Jesse Jones and Alex Jones showed it. He was hanging out there saying, "Look who's going in there! Look who's going in there!" And what was going on during that? He got a little too. When you see so many things, you really start losing track of the truth. Trying to keep up with all the bad things and saying that this is bad and that's bad. Basically, everything is bad. You're not living in heaven. I mean, you can tell yourself you are. Well, the water is beautiful. The sky is beautiful. But what are we doing to everything? Man only destroys. Man doesn't make things better. Man only makes toys bigger, better, and faster. Or small. Computer chips and things just get smaller and smaller. Boats, trains, we have the biggest submarine. We have the biggest airplane. We have the biggest boat on the planet. All right? But when it's a spaceship we created, not a plane. Meaning it can do incredible things. And I saw one here. It was a triangle ship in Hawaii. I'm not going to go into detail, but I saw it come right over the mountain, right above me. Both of my cameras froze, and it was blowing my eardrums out. And I went to town, which was only a quarter of a mile away, and asked people if they heard it, and nobody heard it. So it was only sound directly under it. But the ship was going like this, kind of on a straight angle. What's that? 45, 90-degree angle up. So it was like way over the city. But when it was over my head, it was like 100 yards, whatever. So people, I've seen things. If I erased everything I ever saw and had a normal life, I'd be happy. But that's not where I'm at. That's not where I can be. So I have to deal with all the things I did see and experience and know that it's real. What do I got to do? In this world, not much, but I do got to put as much of it out there for people to listen if they want to know the truth and try to help them find it. All right, people. I hope you got something out of today. Please send this link to everybody you know. You see Trump, Musk, any of those people sticking on their side. I've been sticking it up on their site already today. So, I don't know. I kind of wish Musk would just block me out of the whole site completely. I'm like half tied. I can't do anything. I can't talk too long, can't say things, but I mean, it's still free speech. I call him an asshole. Sorry. You spend money on a rocket ship or you have children in your neighborhood starving to death. That makes you a fool. Jesus said, all right, people, the last word I'll give you to all the Christians out there. It's easier for a camel to go through an eye of a needle than a rich person to get into heaven. Why would he say that? It's 3 times in the Bible alone. And I mean alone because that's where most people will read it. Do they listen? Then for all the Christians that read the Bible, don't read Revelations, which was written by John, read what John calls sins, which cannot be forgiven. People don't want to read that either. In their own Bible, in their own book, in their own religion. Why is that? Oh, well, yeah. Well, everybody thinks their sorry ass is protected. Well, it's not. Not in the physical body. Soul is, but you got to be so aware before any angel steps in. Or an angel save me from dying. Well, okay, you're still alive, aren't you? You're still in hell. Oh, we're not in hell. We're in heaven. No, you're not. Dante's Inferno talked about the levels of hell. Everything he mentions is being experienced here right now. Read the book if you don't believe me. All right, people. I probably bored you enough, and if you stuck around, if you're listening to this anytime in the future, I hope you got something out of it. Enjoy the day, enjoy the night. Till next time, Tommy Hawksblood, Big Island of Hawaii, and we got a volcano that's moving around underneath the ground right now. We had 1,000 earthquakes in 2 days. We got a lot rumbling here. Never mind what else is going on. Till next time, if you make me a friend on YouTube, you will get my notifications every time I do a show. So friend me, just for that reason. If you care, you want to know more about truth and things, no problem. Peace, love, passion, whatever you need in your life, don't stop until you get it. Make sure it's what you need. I mean, not more sex, more relationships, more. No, I mean the truth. Real family, real love, real reason to be here. All right. Till next time.
Raise my eyes to the wild blue yonder. I can't believe what I see, and it makes me wonder why it's falling down on me. The sky, the sky, the sky. Raise my eyes to the wild blue yonder. I can't believe what I see, and it makes me wonder why it's falling down on me. The sky, the sky, the sky. skies falling. Raise my eyes to the wild blue yonder. I can't believe what I